So, some guys like to go out before the game and go on the field and run around a little bit, and I think that helps. I think that helps me. That's what I do. Maybe we need a little bit more of that to get other people going a little bit early, but really it's just mental. People have to be ready at that time because it's not going to change. That's most of the games, and if people want to play on Sundays, that's not going to change. The games are still going to be at 1 o'clock most of the time, so it's all mental. You got to really be good that early in the morning.
Is this just kind of the latest on your revenge tour this season?
Oh yeah,
you check them off the list.
Yeah, that's. Like I've been saying, that game was another disaster last year. It was terrible. Terrible in the run game, terrible in the pass game. Just people weren't doing their responsibilities, and we have most of those guys coming back. That's what we can really learn from it, is that 9 of the 11 guys from that team that played Pittsburgh last year on our defense still, that are those are the guys that made the mistakes last year, weren't tackling, weren't getting their gaps. So it's a good learning tape, but it's not something that we're going to really sit there and cry about. That happened. We're going to come to it a lot like last week, and going to have that chip on our shoulder that we need to come back and do a little revenge and play well.
As the leader of the defense, and you talk a lot about complacency, is it almost nice to just have these games, after people have kind of jumped on the defense's bandwagon, to have these games where the motivation is kind of self-explanatory for everyone? Is it nice as a leader?
I think so, because it makes it easier. I don't think, for these last couple weeks, I don't think anyone's really come to practice with the mindset like, oh, this is going to be an easy game. It's we need to get better. These guys are just as good, as anybody we've played. Coach Foster keeps saying that they're better up front than Alabama, and when anyone says that, that's eye-opening. They're a lot bigger than Alabama was up front.
They gave up 7 sacks to you. I don't know.
Well, that's a little motivation on his part to make us come a little harder. But they have 330-pound guards. That's unheard of even at the pro level, and they can move. So we're gonna, might be the biggest defensive front, and we're really gonna have to bring our big boy pads and go to work.
That said, it's got to be nice to have a stand in the pocket quarterback this week, rather than a mobile one like you guys had to deal with quite a bit this year.
Yeah, I think that makes it a little easier because you can bring a little bit more pressure, and you don't have to worry about them really escaping the pocket and moving around too much. And I think that plays into Coach Foster's cards a little bit more, because obviously he likes to bring pressure. But they're a good team. Savage is very capable of making big time throws and making big time plays. So just because he's not mobile as mobile as some of the guys we've seen, he's going to be just as good.
What do you think about the freshman running back? I think he's a converted defensive end or something.
Yeah, he's big. He's real big, and he breaks a lot of tackles. I haven't seen him really get knocked back all that much. We're going to have to bring him. We tackle him, and even 34 is a good back. He's not as big, but he can. He's got speed. He's got quickness. But yeah, the freshman. He's we're going to have to. He's a low. We're going to have to bring it.
How do you keep the young guys? I know for you guys that played last year, all you need is a game tape. But the young guys, you hop back into the top 25. How do you keep them from having this sense of, okay, we've arrived?
I don't think anyone's really thinking that right now. I think everyone's, which I like, that everyone's mindset is that we got our butts kicked last year by Pittsburgh, and that's not going to happen again. We can't let it happen again. And that makes my job a lot easier, because I don't have to be yelling at people to practice hard or fly to the ball in practice. That everybody's just doing it because we know how we got beat last year. We watched that tape this morning. We remember how it felt. So that, we're coming to practice with that mindset that we have to get better. We have to keep performing at a high level. Because if we lose a game, no one's going to be thinking we're a good defense anymore. That's the way of life it is in college football. So we're on top of the pedestal right now, and I'd like to stay there.
Thank you, Jay.